Lorna Shaddock, thanks very much indeed. Well, let's reminisce a little, shall we, about tomorrow and some of those most high points for all of us. Joining me is Hamish Shephard, founder of the wedding app bridebook.co.uk. Hamish, what was it like for you watching it as someone who has organised so many of these events and been involved in them? Watching it, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. We on bridebook.co.uk we're involved with over 100,000 weddings a year, but this is definitely one of the most iconic in history. And we saw, I just think, a moment where we saw a huge modernisation of weddings, of that break with tradition. Even though it was a hugely royal wedding, that it was really personal. Meghan and Harry put their own mark on the day. Just seeing Meghan come down the aisle on her own without bridesmaids, the singing of Stand By Me by a gospel choir in the presence of the Queen, seeing that balance of tradition. The Archbishop of Canterbury was marrying them, and yet they had that very sort of, was probably going to be famous pastor's speech. Saw a few surprised faces in the audience during it, but I think that was great. It showed it wasn't something in a rigorous protocol, it was how they wanted to do it. The weather was perfect, everything ran without a hitch. It was an amazing moment.
Yeah, and in terms of the tone that it set, it was a modern tone, wasn't it? It was contemporary. It was about two young people coming together and saying, we're going to do it our way.
Exactly. I think it was that amazing balance of, obviously it was this sort of fairy tale moment of a prince marrying a Hollywood actress in a British castle, but they made it very personal. It wasn't, right, here are the royal traditions that you're going to have to follow. It was lovely to see Charles walking Meghan down the aisle.
And then Harry saying, thank you, Pa. I mean, that reminds us there's a family at the core of this. Exactly. They may be royal.
Yeah, and it was, you know, they had the run-up. Every wedding has some, you know, family dynamics, which Meghan
These ones
had.
were pretty dramatic,
exactly.
weren't they?
But seeing how, you know, the family had got round Prince Charles had, you know, enormously helped her out in that moment. It was absolutely brilliant to see.
And you touched on it there, this coming together of Hollywood royalty and British royalty. I mean, some of the scenes of the arrivals, when you had Oprah Winfrey there, and you had Amal and George Clooney walking in, you had the Beckhams mingling with members of the royal family. I think Oprah was chatting to Elle Spencer at one point. These were incredible scenes, weren't they?
Yeah, I think I was saying you're looking very Amal today.
I am channeling my inner Amal. Wow. Thank you for noticing, Hamish.
But definitely, I think even looking at the sort of age of the congregation, it was much younger. If you looked at someone like Prince William's wedding, there's a lot of dignitaries and
yes, we didn't have the heads of states, the politicians.
Exactly, but you didn't also have this sort of, you know, the sort of older generation. It wasn't filled with the House of Lords at the wedding. It was James Corden and David Beckham and Tom Hardy, I think.
Now, talking of James Corden, he was comparing at the evening reception at Frogmore House. So the Queen wasn't at that reception, so I suppose they were allowed to be a little bit more risque with that.
Exactly, that you'd see the two different parts of the wedding. You saw the day, the ceremony has to follow some tradition. It's in the chapel, the Queen's the head of the Church of England, but then in the evening, that's when they can be really flexible. You saw Meghan changed her dress, Harry's in black ties out of his military uniform. They can have a lot more fun.
Oh, and those pictures of them coming out of the castle and driving away in that E-type Jag.
Whizzing off in an
James Bond-esque.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't be more James Bond. And yeah, that's the fun of having those different moments of the day. You know, they were in St George's Chapel having a reception by the Queen, and then, as you say, they're being compared by James Corden in some amazing private party in the evening. Like, what a lucky couple and what a day.
Hamish Shephard, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. We're a bit sad it's all over really now, aren't we?
Still got the sunshine.
The sun is still